We turn now to a story with an ending that's nearly impossible to believe. It all starts like a typical day, a couple out running errands, but this day is about to become anything but ordinary.
They're gonna kill us! They're gonna kill us!
Oh, Jesus.
The screams of a young mother with a knife to her throat.
I thought that she was dying right there.
What happened to Leslie Bacinelli, and who was the monster wielding the knife?
She had a cut on her face from her lip all the way almost to her ear.
Growing up in the sleepy hamlet of Moscow, Pennsylvania, Leslie Bacinelli gained a reputation for her blissful, carefree approach to life.
She's such a kind soul. She'd do anything for you.
Leslie's a very kind-hearted person and has, in fact, gotten awards at work for being the most liked person by customers and those kinds of things. So we're very proud of that.
After high school, Leslie began dating Tim McGoff.
In the beginning, yeah, she was happy and things seemed to be going great for them.
But her parents saw a different side of Tim.
He was a controller, and he liked to punish her.
Then Mother Nature dropped a bombshell, a baby boy named Colin.
The pregnancy was unexpected. Neither one of them had the funds to establish a home. And so my wife and I talked about it and decided that we would make our home their home.
Leslie noticed that Tim began to drink more and work less. Their refrigerator filled top to bottom with beer.
He spent most of his time in the back room in the lower level of our house, watching TV and drinking.
And Leslie told family and friends the heavy drinking turned her lover into a monster. And when she became pregnant a second time, things got even worse.
He's choked her at one time, she told me, and pushed her while she was pregnant.
At this point, it was the yelling, towards Colin and then towards her. And you could just see, the little boy that Colin was starting to change. And she noticed it too, because she changed too. She was more quiet and walked on eggshells, and she was just a different person.
Leslie found the abuse too much and then found the courage to finally leave her boyfriend. Leslie reconnected with a childhood sweetheart, Craig Hoover. Hoover was recently separated and had 2 young children of his own.
Our relationship seemed pretty perfect. We had a lot of good times, a lot of laughs.
But there was someone who thought it wasn't so perfect. Tim McGoff.
That's the highest risk for any victim of domestic violence, is when they're leaving or when they have left. I don't think she realized how significant the hatred that he had for her.
That hatred reached its boiling point on a weekend when McGoff was scheduled to have a visit with his sons. But the boys decided they would rather stay home to play with Craig's kids.
Craig had surprised Leslie with his 2 girls coming in for the weekend. You know, it's not unusual for kids wanting to be with other kids. And in this particular case, young Colin wanted to spend time with Leslie and Craig and his 2 daughters.
That evening, Leslie and Craig left the kids with her parents. Leslie put on a thick scarf to keep the winter cold at bay, but a cold snap would be the least of her concerns. Immediately after they pulled out of the driveway, Craig knew something was wrong.
A car had pulled out right behind us, and I had asked Leslie if she had noticed any headlights when we pulled out of her driveway, and she said no, and I'm like, well, this car came out of nowhere, and the car had disappeared, and we pulled out. And then we traveled a couple more miles. There was a car on the side of the road, and we pull up, and I'm like, there's the same car on the side of the road. I said, it's kind of strange, and she kind of brushed it off.
Was Craig being paranoid, or did Leslie have a fuming ex on her trail? On their way home, the mysterious car reappears, and the hair on the back of Craig's neck is standing at full attention.
I pulled up to the stop sign, and I looked over, and I'm like, there's that same car. I said, I think we're being followed.
Leslie calls 911.
Okay, where are they now?
Right now we're going to be passing by North Pocono Bagel.
All right.
Almost at 307.
Now passing North Pocono Bagel.
And we're like riding that, and anytime we try to, you know, turn around, they'll go by us, and then once we see us pull up somewhere else, then they'll pull out.
And that's when the mysterious driver on their tail moves in for the kill.
Are you alone or are you with somebody?
I'm with somebody. Now they just pulled it out.
Oh, Jesus. They're attacking the call. 7. Leslie, what's going on?
And I just remember like looking out the side of my car like we're gonna die.
Okay, ma'am. Leslie, can you pull out?
Leslie Bacinelli is fighting for her life, climbing out of the tangled mass of metal that was once her car, and coming face to face with her abusive ex, Tim McGoff.
Leslie, are you there? I can't understand what's going on there. I know.
They're gonna kill us. We're gonna kill us.
No.
They're gonna kill us.
Where are you?
They're gonna kill us.
Screaming.
This is the blood-chilling audio of that horrifying moment.
Are you still driving?
No, I'm not driving.
Yeah, well, sorry. Screaming. Leslie, where are you? Leslie. 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 Come on, Leslie. Leslie.
Ma'am. What's up for it? Ma'am, where are you?
I could see him standing in the middle of the road, holding her ponytail and a knife in his hand. I was too far away to do anything else, and I just looked at him and I said, Tim, you got 2 kids at home? And he just looked at me and he said, I'll kill both of you. And then he grabbed a hold of her ponytail and then he tried to slice her throat. And then she grabbed a hold of her throat, and I thought that she was dying right there.
The brutal knife attack was savage, but despite a deep and violent stab, a miraculous moment, Leslie's life was spared.
That was the most horrific moment of my life because I thought I was going to die. I started to run. I saw Tim standing in the middle of the roadway with a knife like this. Just this awful, evil glare. He put the knife in my mouth and sliced it.
This is actually the item of property that saved her life.
Remember when Leslie left the house and she put on a winter scarf? Miraculously, that scarf saved her. McGoff's knife didn't pierce the thick material.
So if I didn't have that on, I really wouldn't be here today. Craig would have watched me die in front of him.
Turns out the car McGoff turned into a tank had been stolen earlier that day, and looking inside, cops make a disturbing discovery.
They found a loaded .22, 3 2-liter bottles of gasoline, soda bottles in a backpack. They said that he had about 70 bullets in his pocket and a Bic lighter.
Cops believe Leslie and her boyfriend weren't all he was after.
Our speculation was, well, he had 3 bottles of gasoline, and there's 3 ways in and out of Leslie's parents' house. So, our speculation was that maybe he was going to torch the house, and as they were running out of the house, shoot them.
It took a jury less than 3 hours to find Tim McGoff guilty of 15 counts, including attempted murder, with a judge's sentence of a minimum 21 years behind bars.
We got 21 years minimum, which was tremendous, and it certainly brought justice to the family.
Today, Leslie shares her remarkable story to bring hope and courage to other survivors of domestic violence.
I want him to know that because of a senseless, selfish act, he doesn't get to see his children grow up.
If you or anyone you know is experiencing domestic violence, call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-SAFE. That's 800-799-7233, or by texting START to 88788.